Good morning. I'm the Mainly Digger, and it's too cold to dig. It's too cold to metal detect. So I'm going to do another Maine top 10. If you don't know, I'm from Maine. I'm in Pennsylvania for a while, and then I'm heading back to Maine. But like, I'm homesick. I get homesick so much. I miss Maine. I don't miss the taxes, but I miss Maine. And I miss my family and everything in Maine. So I do these top 10s mainly for me and to to inform people about Maine in general, to give you an idea of how Maine is. So today I'm doing a general top 10 in Maine. The first one is tourists, also known as flatlanders. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you're not from Maine, you are a flatlander. It's kind of an insult, but it's a general description. First thing to know about tourists: if you're a tourist, don't try to fake the language. It drives us crazy. Even I've lived in Maine, and my Mainerisms, my accent comes out occasionally. Like I don't do it on purpose. But just to give you an idea, like, I don't know, the Kennedy accent, like when he gives his speech, President Kennedy, when he gives his speech, that's generally what normal Mainers sound like. But then you have that fake accent, the mist, where it sounds like you've been smoking for 20 years, you have a speech impediment. It just sounds horrible. I'm not making fun of people who have speech impediment. I'm just saying it's forced. And it drives Mainers crazy, like absolutely crazy. But yeah, don't fake it. Just talk. Just talk how you normally talk. And I say that because like it's a thing. It really is. People come to Maine and you're like, bro, you're not. Why? Just ask me a question in a normal accent. But another thing to know is when you ask directions, know we're gonna mess with you because you have GPS, you have your cell phones, you have maps, and people come to Maine and they have no idea where they're going, and that's understandable. But if you don't like research it, like we're gonna mess with you because that's I mean, we'll get you lost, but we'll also help you out. So we're gonna play with you a little bit. Mainers like wordplay. So the first, like, I don't know, I guaranteed someone's gonna say it if you ask directions, is you can get here from there, but you can't get there from here. Which means you have the word there, and here is in that word, but you can't get here from there. It's a play on words, or play on word. So they're messing with you, and just smile and nod because you're not going to get directions out of them. Thank them. Mainers are the nicest, rudest people you ever meet. It's just how we are. We love messing with people. We love messing with flatlanders. So yeah, don't fake that accent. Just come to Maine, enjoy it. Don't fake that accent. Also, don't bring your drama to Maine. I'm not going to go in depth on that, but like, come to Maine to relax. Come to Maine to vacation. Don't bring all your politics. Don't bring, like, that's another thing. That's what I was going with this, is that your politics and your way of life, that's good for you. It may not be good for you, but if you try to debate us on how, and try to bring your politics and try to change Maine, Mainers don't like change at all. And politics, because Maine's so politically split, it's crazy. Like, it is absolutely nuts. Those are like, there will be words said. So don't bring your politics. If you're visiting Maine, if you're a tourist, like, just enjoy Maine as is. Number 2, the leaves. Fall is amazing. It is beautiful. It is like, if you've never seen it, if you're not from the north, or like, the leaves change during fall. Like, like you'll have oranges, you'll have reds, you'll have like almost like this pinkish color. You get up on top of a high point, a hill, a mountain, and it'll look like forests are on fire from the leaves changing, which is awesome. This kind of leads into tourism also. But if you're a tourist and you've never seen it before, get off the main road. Get off the highway, get off Route 1, go the back roads, get lost. Why I'm bringing this up is because people naturally slow down. So like everybody else who's from Maine and is kind of like immune to it is trying to get home. This happens to me all the time. It's usually people from Connecticut who do this, and they're from like, it happens in Connecticut. Anyway, they slow down and it becomes like aggravating, and you're not trying to get mad at them, but you also want to get home and you don't want to deal with the highway and slow drivers. But that like fall is amazing. So number 3 is, it goes along with language. We cuss. Mainers cuss a lot. Not just cuss, we tell jokes and insult each other. If you're my friend, I'm gonna insult you a lot, depending on who you are. But like, if we go to the bar or the pub, the jokes are coming out. The insults are coming out. The 4-letter words, I'm just gonna throw them out there. I'm not even gonna worry. That's just how we talk to each other. The F word, it's not even a cuss in Maine, I don't think. Or, I mean, like, especially where I work, BIW, it's a thing. Like, you say it every day. We use it to describe everything. BIW is Bath Iron Works. It's the naval yard. You're working with shipyarders, man. And we have colorful language. Like, we are the cream of the crop of smack talking. But that's how it is in Maine. So if you're a Flatlander or you're an out-of-stater, like, don't get offended. What happens a lot is college students will come in from wherever they come in and go to college in Maine. They'll walk into a bar, into a pub, and all the locals are just carrying on, doing what we do every time we go to the pub, or every time what we do in the backyard. Or having beers, having fun, talking smack. That's what we do. And they'll get offended and they'll make a scene because they're so offended. Just go off of this. If you're coming to Maine and we're not directly insulting you or talking to you, don't get offended. Just enjoy the conversation because it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. Or eat your food, drink your drink, pay your tab, and get out. Always tip, but get out. That scene's not for you. But don't try to correct how we act based off of what you're used to. That's generally how, that's a theme for Maine. You come to Maine, don't try to change us. It's how we are. So now we're on to number 4. So number 4 is lobster, and lobster in Maine. Maine lobster, it's what Maine is mostly known for. We have lobstermen, we have lobster boats, we have places to go to get lobster. If you ask us where we can go or where you can go to get lobster, we're just gonna go to the Weather Vane or to Red Lobster, because we're not gonna give up our supplier. Like, we get lobster for cheap. We know people. We're not going to tell you where our supplier is. I get that. I get asked that every time, every spring, every summer, even winter. And you're like, they do harvest lobster in the winter. But yeah, we're not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. I got my guy. I got my dealer. I got my supplier. I know where to go. I'm not going to tell you where to go, because then you're going to tell your friends, and your friends are going to, and then I'm not going to get mine in the end. Lobster, yeah, that's lobster and how our attitude is towards lobster. Like, we love our lobster, but it's ours. If you give us money, we'll go get you lobster. But that's just how it is. So now we're on fact 5. Fact 5. Hunting and fishing in Maine. It's besides tourism, it's a part of tourism, and it's a thing. It's a huge thing. So if that's not, hunting and fishing is not your thing, you stay in Portland, stay south of Portland, because like that's the best advice I can get you. If you're so against hunting and fishing, just stay Portland and south. Yeah, it's a thing. It's amazing. Best hunting and fishing you'll ever see. And it, like, we know, like, Mainers know if you're an out-of-stater, or you just started hunting and you're like, I have no idea where to go, and you're like, you're in Maine, bro. Like, go outside, go in the woods, go on the stream and fish, go on seafood. Like, I don't shop for seafood. I go other places. I go to my supplier and get seafood. But yeah, it's a part of tourism. Like, the further north you go, like the more desolate you'll be, which is good and bad. I like it. It's awesome. It's amazing. Like, fishing, hunting and fishing, tourism. My dad was a Maine guide for a long time, so I get it for free. My dad begs me to go out with him, and because he's getting older and he wants to spend time with me. I miss him. Miss you, Dad. But yeah, it's like, it's amazing. Like, the things you see when you get out in the woods. If you're not from Maine, go get a guide. Go pay a guide. That's the best thing you can do for your money, is if you're not from the state, or you're not a hunter or a fisher, go get a guide to show you what to do, where to go, to understand the laws of Maine and how Maine law works, Maine outdoor law. So you don't come up and you don't have a game warden on you all the time. Respect to the game wardens, but like they will look for stuff. They will pick through everything with a fine-tooth comb, and they know the laws. They absolutely do. They know the laws. So we're on fact 6 right now. So fact 6, hiking. Hiking in Maine is huge. There are so many trails. The main one is the Appalachian Trail. It is, like, if you don't know what the Appalachian Trail is, it goes from Georgia to Maine, right on Moosehead Lake, Mount Katahdin. It's an amazing, like, if you like hiking, it is a long hike, and it is like a hike you have to plan out. But a big part of it is in Maine. Not a big part. I'd say the end part, or the start part, is in Maine. But yeah, there's so many hills and mountains in Maine. It's ridiculous. That's why we call people flatlanders, because the hill to mountain ratio. Anyway, so you have Mount Katahdin, which is, look that up. Go look it up online. It's amazing. That's in Greenville, Maine. Moosehead Lake is in Greenville, and they're surrounding. But the big town city is Greenville. Yeah. So you have Mount Katahdin. You have Big Bigelow, Little Bigelow. You have Mount Tumbledown. I've done that hike twice. It's outstanding. It is beautiful. It is amazing. Acadia National Park. They have little mountains that you can hike, and we went there. I've been there multiple times, but we did a lot of hiking my freshman year in high school. They call it Moby, my own backyard, where you do different hikes, different places in Acadia National Park, and you learn pretty much about Acadia National Park. It's amazing. It is a beautiful place. But yeah, there's so many trails. I can't think of anything, so we're just gonna move on. So number 7 is the roads. Roads in Maine, mostly well kept. The main roads in Maine are well kept. The back roads are not that well kept, depending on the town. Like Waterville is poor. I wouldn't say poor, but like there's not, the upkeep on the roads is horrible, absolutely horrible. Especially like in winter, like they don't have enough drivers or plow drivers. So like anyway, it's just the upkeep on the back roads are horrible. The main roads are amazing. Interstate, amazing. You can get anywhere within 2 hours. Route 1, if you like driving slow, like seeing the coast, seeing the tourist spots. Route 1 is absolutely great, absolutely great. So number 8 is Freeport. It was like, what's up with Freeport? If you don't know, LL Bean. It is a Maine business. It is a company. LL Bean is the guy who made it. I forgot his first name. His daughter has taken it over and has expanded it a little bit. Now there's a restaurant, like you have LL Bean, and across the street is LL Bean. It's her restaurant. It's a good restaurant. And then you have like different outlets and stuff like that. But LL Bean in Maine, it's huge. Like you've heard me talk about it before, where it's like I wear a lot of LL Bean stuff, not intentionally. It's good stuff. But like it's just a thing. Like you go anywhere and you can get LL Bean stuff in Maine. Mainers had an issue with this. The return policy on LL Bean for years, decades. It was if you use it and it gets broken, you could return it, and they'll give you they'll repair it or give you a new pair. LL Bean's not doing that anymore, and it created a fuss. Number 9 is cities not to stay in, and the reason why. Lewiston, there's nothing in Lewiston you want to see at all. It's called the Dirty Lew for a reason. Like, it's always been that city. It's a mill city. It's a huge mill city. The Dirty Lew, like, just don't go there. It's not worth seeing. Go to Auburn. Auburn's 10 times better, and it's right next to it. Portland, I would say visit Portland. Like, I visit Portland to shop. It is a shopping mecca. I don't stay there overnight. There's not like, you can go other places for cheaper. It's cheaper to stay out of Portland to stay in Portland overnight. Reasons why people go there is to shop and to go to Old Port, the bars. It's a whole bunch of bars, restaurants. Old Port is pretty cool, but don't stay the night in Portland. It's expensive. Same thing with Freeport. LL Bean is there. A whole bunch of stores. It's a shopping mecca of Maine. We don't have meccas, but that is a mecca. It's expensive to stay there tonight. Stay out, like stay in a hotel that borders, like it's close. It's not that far away. Kennebunkport, same thing. Trying to think. The Waterville, no one stays in Waterville. Oh, people stay in Waterville to go to Bangor. So Bangor's not. There's things in Bangor to go see. I would not stay the night in Bangor. It's like Lewiston, except a little better. But yeah, definitely the Dirty Lew. Don't Dirty Lew. If you go through Lewiston, you get lost. That is not Maine. That is not Maine at all. That is not what Maine represents. It's one of those cities. Like, just don't go there. Number 10 is our last and final one. Is in general just. So number 10, like I was trying to say before, and I was kind of just screwing it up, is drugs in Maine. I was a correctional officer for 2 years, so I got to see the other part of this. Like, if you're bringing drugs in Maine, and I'm going to say this like as nicely as possible, you're gonna get busted. It just is. Like, you may get away with it, but you got to understand, outsiders in Maine look completely different. Like, we can tell. Like, law enforcement can tell, and they're not going to stereotype you, but they know what you look like. It happens every year, every tourist season, every winter. Like, you would be surprised. Like the pushers and the dealers come to Maine because there's a want for whatever drug they're trying to push. So, like, they know, like, the drug dealers know to come to Maine, and we know, like, law enforcement knows what to look for. So it's kind of a weird way to end my top 10, but, like, it is a thing in Maine. It's something that affects tourism. It's something that affects everybody in Maine. Heroin, Suboxone, opiates. The opioid crisis has hit Maine pretty hard. So, like, for me not to bring it up is neglecting an issue in Maine, I guess. Yeah, drugs, I wouldn't say they're bad, but they're bad in some parts. Lewiston is one of them. Portland's a big art, like, I would say liberal arts, like very, very creative music. There's a lot of good music, but there are a lot of drugs, and it all comes from down south. Not like it comes into Maine south. So everything in Maine that's not Maine is from down south. But yeah, that is my top 10. Thank you for sticking by, staying with me until the top 10. I kind of like, it was like, I had fun. Like I said, I'm homesick and these help me out. Mainly to get out,